You're listening to Hotep Ish with your host, Dwann B. Intelligent Ish Talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
Hey Negroes, welcome. I am here. Thank y'all for joining. How's my sound, y'all? How's my sound? Salute to everybody up in here. Yesterday's show lit off a comment storm. And I got comments from people I respect. So, a lot of times I be getting, people commenting who just these weird niggas. The only time they say something is when they on some weirdo shit. I don't give a fuck about what y'all think. But when I got people who are just regular commenters and, people who like talking, who don't mind a little bit of shit talk, comment, I got to open up the phone lines. I got to give you a chance to, in extended form, not too extended. Let me set the rules right now. When you call in, you get a brief time to speak. You're not going to get a 5-minute monologue. And here's why. Anyone who has something to say can say it in a few sentences. If you need 3 minutes to explain yourself, that means you ain't talking about shit. Okay? So I want to first start off by, welcoming everyone. And I want to catch you up if you didn't listen to last night's show. What are we talking about? Let me catch everyone up. And then we're going to get it started, okay? And when I'm done with calls, I might even read some of Ja Morant's cards and see what we dealing with this nigga with mentally. If y'all want that, press the number 1 if you want me to read his cards when we all said and done. If you're not, I might leave that for a different show. Well, anyway, but I do want to hear what y'all got to say. But for those of you who are unaware, Ja Morant is an NBA player, and I want to make this very clear. This isn't about basketball. So you don't necessarily have to be a basketball fan to listen to what we're talking about today. Basketball is just a canvas that I'm using to paint a bigger picture about our response to other black people when they do wrong. And I'm not taking calls yet, so please don't call in yet. When I put the phone number up, that'll be when I'm taking calls. But, I appreciate your excitement for calling in. You must have the number saved. I'm not even mad at you. I'm not even going to crack a joke. Matter of fact, that's cool. Anyway, what I'm saying is this. We're going to talk about what's going on. Ja Morant, well, let me back up. For those of you listening who may not necessarily be interested in basketball, Ja Morant is an NBA player who, for the second time in less than 4 months, has flashed a gun on camera on Instagram and gotten reprimanded for it. Ja Morant is a really good basketball player. He has a bright side. He, over this past summer, signed a $195 million deal. And he recently got a shoe contract from Nike because Nike figured they play good Negro, bad Negro. They dropped Kyrie from his contract for standing up for himself and basically gave Ja Morant the same shoe deal. And then Ja Morant turned around and flashed a gun. And in him flashing a gun on Instagram, 99% of the people that are talking about it would have never known about it had they not made a still shot image of him holding the gun real quick on Instagram. The media made a big hoopla about it, so in turn, people are responding in big order. That was in February. And so then again, Saturday night this week, either Friday or Saturday night, he was driving in a car with one of his friends or whatever. And he had a gun in his hand after getting reprimanded about the whole gun thing and saying he'll never do it and he'll take some classes, yada, yada, yada. The Negro apology speech that's written by a white female publicist, usually. Sometimes it's a white male publicist, but they're usually white male publicists. There are black publicists out there, but for some reason, a lot of these NBA niggas don't want to hire them. So anyway, that publicist or a publicist that's hired by the NBA wrote that statement for Ja Morant, which he signed and repeated. And he does basically the same thing. It was literally a blink and you miss it moment. It's literally a blink and you miss it moment. I forgot. I'm on my computer today, so I can actually show y'all some damn video of it. I'm on my computer actually. Let me see here. So here we go. Let me mute this because it sounds like a white person talking. But basically, there's some other YouTube channel and they play the video of Ja Morant holding a gun. This is literally them two going around, jumping, doing some bullshit. And in that moment, they doing some stuff. The dude does a little fake gun. Yeah. And literally, that was that quick. That was it. Literally a blink and you miss it moment. Let's go back. Look. Literally, he does this. He's holding it. And then dude turns the camera right back around. That's it. So white media decided to make a much ado about nothing. And they decided to still shot that image. And in still shotting that image, now everybody's in an uproar. Oh my God. What are you doing? What is it doing? Why? Niggas sounding like Lenny Williams. Oh. And I cried. Why is he doing that? Lord. Oh. And the tears. And I'm over here like, my point of view is, he may mess up his deal. So, the fuck that got to do with you? He may lose out on some endorsements. So what? He has his own life path that he has to live. Why are you helping these white folks crap on him? That's my point of view. I'm not saying what he did was good or bad. What he did was a journey in his life that the media decided to make a big old huge ordeal about. And I'm seeing all these black folks respond and complain. Why did he do it, Lord? Oh. And I'm just like, why? What's all this? What's all this? What's up, Quan? What's up, Hood News? Amir, welcome, chat room. So there's a lot of people that are mad at me over that show I did last night. So I want to give all of you a chance to call in. And when you call in, you know, I'll allow you time to speak. But if you talking in circles, I appreciate the super chat, my M. Miller. You're right. Why are we so overly concerned with people's pockets? Get your mind out they pockets. And of course, some emotional manual just hit the thumbs down button. And why? You know what I mean? So that's what we're gonna talk about. I want to give y'all an opportunity to ask you to make your comments clear. And I'm not saying I'm gonna disagree with you. I want to be understanding. And I'm not saying I'm always right or you always wrong. But the response is very interesting. So I'm going to play this commercial, then I'm going to have y'all call in. I'm about to put the commercial up, the phone number up. I'll be back to y'all in like 1 minute or less. Now for the Dwann B Live interactive comedy show and mixer with your headliner, Slink Johnson, Mike Murphy, Kamira White, and Larry Goodwell.
What's up, Dallas? This is your main man, Slink Johnson, with a public service announcement. Check me out live at the Urban Arts Center, May 26th, with my man, Dwann Brown. We smoking yours, baby. Tap in, D-Town.
Yeah, come on out, Dallas. That's next Friday. Shit. That is next Friday. And of course, feel free to hit the Cash App anytime you want. You know, I'm never going to turn that down. I'm giving y'all free content. Support a brother. $ Dwann Brown. Follow me on all my social media too. Twitter, Instagram, everywhere is at Dwann B. And go to DwannB.com for all the updates and the centralized hub for all that I got going on. DwannB.com. See all the good shit. All my merch for sale. Got the hoodies. Got the tickets on sale. All one centralized hub. You want to book me for some shit? Booking at DwannB.com. All that. I just missed a call. Call back, caller. Call back. Are you gonna be you gonna be in Houston that weekend in Miller? Damn. It's all good. Appreciate the Cash App, Amar Woods. Yeah, you get to explore all my shit. You got the shop, all the dope merch. You got the Black American Music Family Tree. Oh, and the documentary's coming soon, y'all. There we go. Hold on. I can't hear Skype. Hold on, caller.
All right.
All right, what's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
What's going on, Dwann, man? This Ivor, aka Natural Immunity, man. How you feeling, man?
Oh, what's up, brother? Good to hear from you, man.
Same here, man. Now peep this. I'm on your Facebook page. Me and you was kind of going back and forth on this.
You on my Facebook page? What's your name on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm on my real name, Teray. So we was going back and forth a little bit on this. You know, you had your point, I had mine. And my thing with Ja, I ain't really tripping about him on his money side. I just know how the league long term, they're gonna put him in a box. And so when it come time that when he get 32, 33 years old, they might boogie cousins him. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, his money, the money get low, you know, the athleticism go down, you know what I'm saying? And it come time to get them contracts and they gonna be funny style with it. You know what I mean?
I hear what I'm glad you called in and said that, because I understand that point of view. And I'm glad you brought that up, because there are a lot of black people who more so are thinking about his long-term future, and you just want the best for him. That's one perspective that's out there, and that's the seeds of the discuss with what's going on. And here's what I have to say to that, because I totally get it. I used to be like that for real. What I had to learn and mature was this: everybody got their life path that they got to go on. You know what I mean? And although I want the best for people, I understand how propaganda works and how when we side with them folks, how that energizes what they do. The reason why Kyrie was able to come back and play in the NBA this year, because that's one of the few times that we as a people say, you know what? No. I don't care. No. They didn't get our energy. So, and that was one of the first times I've seen black people, no matter where you sat on how you felt about Kyrie Irving, you knew that it was wrong that he be suspended for standing up for himself. And it's like, for the one time we say, you know what? Enough. I'm tired of our black folks getting publicly lynched for having an opinion. Them folks had to back off. I see it as a proper. I don't agree with what he did. Me personally, I've never liked the fake gangsters. I've always respected the dudes who grew up in circumstances to where they had to be gangsters to survive their situation. I've never had an issue with them people. I've always had an issue with these two-parent household niggas whose parents could afford to send them off to summer camp talking about they a blood or a crip. Fuck you. I've never liked them kind of niggas. And Josh seems to be that kind of dude. I would never want to be around him.
Exactly. He is, and that's the problem, man, that I have with him, because see, coming from a father's perspective, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want my son to throw away what I done taught you, and you are here really in the light. You know what I'm saying? Whether you want to be or not, he in the light, and you have to hold yourself to a certain accountability when it comes to that. And he ain't doing that. I mean, I get it that he's young, but you can't keep using that as an excuse, because he do have a father. He got his mom. He got people present. He got a sister coming up under him that play ball. You know what I mean? So you got to take into account to why this is happening to you as opposed to, you know, somebody else. You know, you just got
one second. I want to finish up your point. If for the caller calling in, I'm going to let Ivor cook for a little bit. So I'm going to take your call, 973. I promise I'm going to take your call. But Ivor's one of my day one callers, so I give Ivor a little more, you know, no disrespect to nobody else, but Ivor's a day one, so he get a little bit of more mic time than everybody else. So with respect to everybody else, I'm going to let Ivor cook, because me and Ivor, we disagree principally on the situation, but while respecting each other's point of view. So let us flush this out, 973. You done called back like 7 times. Relax. You get to call in like in 5 minutes. I promise. I got you. Give me like 5 minutes. I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
I promise you, 973. Give me 5 minutes. Shit. Anyway, so what you were just saying, brother, you were go back and finish your point. Go back and say what you said again, because I got distracted with that caller. They still calling in, but go back and cap off what you were trying to say.
Well, no, essentially, like I said, just coming from me being a father and him being my son, I would want him to hold himself to a standard and have some accountability for what he's doing. You know what I mean? And not to, I think we'll look back to certain people, but, you know, when we come from environments where, man, I done been in cars where everybody had guns. You know, I done been in, you know, at people's houses. I mean, and we didn't have social media back then to put us out here on display, but now they do. So you gotta be conscious of that. And, you know, with the league, him signing that deal and all that kind of stuff, he's whether he want to be or not, he's a public figure.
Yeah.
So now
here's what I wanted to say to that. See, I agree with you on that point of view. He is a public figure, but here's where a lesson comes in for us as the adults talking to the kids. When we see people in the public screw up, that's when I work with children. That's when I say, hey, look, right there's a lesson. Nobody's perfect. The only leader that you have is yourself. Whatever inspiration that you get from this athlete, that singer, that actor, that scientist, whoever it is, love them for what they give you and offer you and what they taught you, what you think you learned from them. Appreciate them for that. But also know that they flawed and use this as a teaching moment. See, they're a great basketball player, but just because they're a great basketball player doesn't mean that they're a good person or a smart person. And here's one more point I got to make when it comes to excuses. I'm glad you brought that point up about excuses. It's not that we're making excuses when we talk about his age. It's we're having an understanding. Let's break that down into 2 points. One, biologically. Your frontal cortex, your frontal lobe, that forehead, right over that forehead, this front part of your brain, in the best case of scenario, your ability to reason isn't fully functional till you're 23. 26, between 23 and 26, your frontal cortex comes fully online. That's just scientific. So everybody has different maturity levels, right? And we have different environmental levels, environmental factors. So some people are going to mature at different rates than others. When you're dealing with people under 25, you're dealing with people who, like, I look at me. I've always had really good reasoning skills. So to me, I don't look at it as an excuse. Because my personal life, I didn't have, a lot of niggas was like, I was in the streets doing this. And I was never in the streets doing nothing. I've always understood that's some bullshit. But I give considerations to the brothers that didn't have that. You dig what I'm saying? Because I'm more mature than them socially in that area, but they more mature than me in other areas in that area. And all of our abilities to reason isn't fully functional at that time in our lives. Two, so it's a level of respect given between as elder to youth. You know what I mean? It's a certain, while at the same time, that respect isn't given an excuse. It's saying, young man, I understand that you dumb than a motherfucker. But how can we love our youth into better? Because the ridiculing thing hasn't worked. It didn't work with our generation. It didn't work with the generation before that. And it ain't working with the generation now. So how can we as the adults in the room change up our approach and how we fix this situation?
Interesting. That's an interesting concept. You know, it takes really, you gotta look outside of yourself in that instance, like you said. He been hearing the same voices since he came up, you know, since he got to the league, since he's been to the league. I think it's gonna take somebody outside of his immediate circle to kind of, you know, give him a different perspective. You know, they ain't gotta say, hey man, it ain't crashing down on him, but it's like, look, you know, I see it this way. And you know, it's bad right now, but everything is always bad. In due time, you can move away from it. But going forward, you know, you got to do something different. And so I think it's gonna take a village in some way, shape, or form. But it's not gonna be that immediate village that he's been listening to in his camp Like my man that was shooting the live. Why shoot the live? You with him every day. Why go?
That's this generation. Our generation. Guess what, man? We ain't gonna understand. Is there certain things we're never gonna understand about people 20 years younger than us? That's just a fact. Cool. So we got to get to a level of reasoning as the adults, and like, all right, now let's to all the other kids young people who didn't get caught. Let's use this as a loving in love. Let's use this as a teaching moment. You see what this does here? But at the same time, I'm not gonna let you white people lynch him. What about Dana White? Fuck all that. Yeah, what about Brett Favre? No, fuck all that. You want to talk about That's what I'm gonna do when they come around. And then amongst ourselves, amongst family, how can we correct the youngsters' behaviors in love? But I got a fuck ton of people calling me, my brother. Thanks for calling in.
Go ahead, bro. No question, man. Good to hear from you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Right.
All right, 973. You've been calling in for like 7 minutes nonstop, even though I said give us a second. What's up?
Oh, hey, Dwann, you know what it is? Because I'm not able to listen, so I'm just calling.
Oh, okay. I see how I go. Yeah. What's your name? Where you calling from, brother?
Hey, what's going on, man? Najee from Jersey. I was trying to get in real fast because I was about to take a nap, but I wanted to get this comment in. So only thing I got to say is when I first heard it, I really was like, okay, what's the big deal? But then I understand the morality thing. It's probably morality clauses dealing with the NBA and the image and everything, and this is the second time. So the first thing that came to my mind, it wasn't wise. But the second thing that came to my mind was black people and their relationships with firearms. So first question that I asked, I said, okay, was the weapon like legal? They said, yeah, he's able to carry a weapon. So I'm like, okay, then what's the problem? So I really was just focused on the fact that anytime black people are seen with a firearm, and this might be not necessarily have nothing to do with him, it's automatically seen as criminal, where white people basically always express their privilege to basically to practice their Second Amendment. So that was just my thing, and when hearing black people talk, because I don't see nothing he did was illegal. That was the first thing.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought that point up, because that's the way I see it. Look, it wasn't illegal. He didn't hurt himself. He didn't harm anyone else, and he did not cause harm to be done to anyone. So at this point, what are we talking about?
Yeah, that was just my thing. And we got this thing with firearms, black people and firearms.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? We have a real weird relationships where, anytime black people are in proximity to firearms, there's always this criminal stigma attached to it, where white people, it's their right, it's their Second Amendment duty as an American to have a firearm. We really need to check that.
And that's, I'm glad you brought that point up. That's another great point that you bring up. He hung up, or I didn't hang you up, caller. He hung up on you. But I'm glad he brought up that point. Is my audio doubling? How's my audio sound? I'm over here because it kind of sounds funny on my end. How do I sound, people? Jesus loves you. Anyway, but that's a great point. What he just said was a great point. It's that we have this thing as a people, we have this thing when it comes to guns, and the Second Amendment amendments for all of us, and we as people still don't understand our lack. The Second Amendment, the Second Amendment not working for us is why we got in the situation we got in. When it got to a situation in the 1700s and 1800s where they could own guns and we couldn't. And so we've conditioned ourselves to get afraid when the term guns comes up. And we got to stop that shit. Carter, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Anthony from Memphis, Tennessee. What's going on, Dwann?
Anthony, I'm glad you're calling in from Memphis. Before you even get started, I got a question for you. And then I'm gonna ask you, and then I'm gonna get to your question. Some people say I sound great. Some people say I'm glitching. So if I'm glitching, it's probably your phone. If I sound great, Jay Jimerson say I sound great. You from Memphis? What's the gun culture like? Like, what's the laws like in Memphis when it comes to owning guns?
It's a direct parallel to Texas. I just say this: if you don't know the gun laws in Texas, it's a direct parallel.
Yeah, I know the Texas laws. Larry in right now with them Texas laws.
You have direct reciprocity, which basically means the rules are the same for having guns in Texas and Tennessee. Meaning you can get your gun license in Tennessee, take your gun and travel to Texas, and all the laws would apply if you get pulled over. You won't get nothing will happen to you. With that being said, you could carry a gun in your pocket. You don't need a concealed carry license. It's very easy to get a gun in Tennessee. Man, you could literally buy clothes and buy a gun the same day, almost, give or take.
So basically, culturally in Memphis,
you better have a gun on you if you can.
Yeah, so it's part of the culture.
People that don't have a gun on them is people that's on probation or parole or just afraid of guns.
Okay, so that's somewhat of the culture of the city. Now, okay, I just wanted to put that. I just wanted to, I wanted to make that clear. But go ahead and ask your question. Say what you had to say.
I just wanted to say that Ja Morant is this young generation version of Allen Iverson. Now, all of us remember when Allen Iverson was playing. We probably like either teenagers or young adults or kids, and we loved him because he was who he was unapologetically all the time. And let's be honest with you, if you look at it, he was kind of a damn fool the whole time. But we as young people loved it, and we defended him for it. And let's be honest with you, he really did mature until after he retired. But his play was so excellent, and his heart and love for the game was so dynamic. The people defended him. If the people defend him, his fans, he'll stay in the league as long as he wants to, just like Allen Iverson did.
Right.
And they'll still love him.
Right.
The biggest thing I have is that people in Memphis, we have experience with players who had a troubled past. One of my favorite players is Zach Randolph. If anybody know who Zach Randolph was,
he used to be over here in Watts in L.A. He was known for hanging out.
Let's just say this. His nickname is Zebo. That wasn't the name he had in college. He had that name because he was whooping vets' ass as a rookie. And I say allegedly, but it's not so allegedly, if you know what I mean.
I got a Zebo story. I was at
a Zebo story, but go ahead.
You heard it? Yeah, I was at a Clipper game. Me and Larry in the chat room, he was there. It was the Clippers versus the Heat, 2011. LeBron, Dwayne Wade, all them coming out. We in the tunnel, leaving out the locker room, going into the bus where all the players, where the bus area is in the cars, where all the players leave, and everybody's getting a text message. Like the first text message, like LeBron and Chris Paul's wife was talking like, "Hey," they got a text message. It was like, "Yo, Cedrick Perkins just got knocked out," and now everybody's getting these messages when we leaving out. Because apparently in Memphis, allegedly, Zebo and Cedrick Perkins was in the tunnel after the game, and Cedrick Perkins got a little bit closer, and yeah. One hit a quitter.
Yeah.
And the only thing that they played on ESPN that night, 'cause I went looking on ESPN. ESPN was like, Zach Roth was arrested and released over some kind of, they gave some bullshit language because the NBA, when the real shit happens, they don't release that part as news because they don't want a bad image. They release the stories that they can control. So it kind of got put out there and pulled right back. But that's a Zebo, like it's kind of an open secret that Zebo knocked Cedrick Perkins' ass out after a game in 2011 or 12. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, I'm glad you said that. You know how John had this situation where he got into a fight with the little young boy at his house?
Yeah.
Guess who had a situation just like that at his house when he was playing her?
Who?
Zach Randolph. Almost parallel. They put it on the news. The dude tried to sue him. They showed him on TV all lumped up, shirt torn, and they dropped their case like within a couple weeks. See? They may have paid him off and be like, "Shut up."
See, but thanks for calling. I got a lot of people calling now. I'm gonna address another point you made. But yeah, but thanks for calling in, brother.
All right.
Yeah. See, that's the culture of Memphis, you know, the open carry thing. And, you know, when it comes to us as people, look, we gotta mature as black people to the point to where we can allow black people to fuck up, and you ain't gotta act like you the judge, Queen Mary, King Joseph, or whatever the fuck. If they not breaking no laws, if they break the rules of the NBA, that's the NBA's rule. I had some nigga on my Instagram talking about some, we have to help enforce because the NBA has a rule against guns. Nigga, that ain't your job. The fuck are you? Nigga, that's Adam Silver. And if Ja Morant does something that's going to get him fined, then he has to suffer those consequences. The man ain't break no law. He ain't hurt nobody. He ain't caused harm to be done to anybody. When are you niggas going to realize that niggas ain't got to be perfect? What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Jeff Brown. I'm calling from Pasadena. What's going on, Cat Daddy?
Shit. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, man. First off, let me start out by saying I absolutely love your Get Down, bro. I don't watch CNN. I don't watch MSNBC. I watch niggas like you. I don't watch. I literally don't let that shit in.
Appreciate that, Jeff.
Yes, sir. Now, with that said, love aside, I vehemently disagree with you.
Go ahead, brother.
Vehemently. This is a failure of his parents. This is a failure, namely, of his father. This is a failure of someone to point out the supreme financial opportunity that this is, and a failure for someone to point out that he is no more famous, no more exposed than Michael Jordan, who doesn't carry a firearm. He surrounds himself with former Navy SEALs. This dude has the money to hire the best security on earth. He has no excuse for brandishing a firearm, and I'm a Marine. If you need something else to play with, get yourself something else to play with, bruh. This let me prove that I belong in a place that I should be escaping so I can turn around and help. It's played. It's played, bruh. I can't find an excuse for it, because in order to excuse him, I would have to be able to give the same words to my son if that was Ja Brown. What say you?
This is the way I look at it. When a story is playing out, this is something I learned in college, when I was in my cultural anthropology class. The number one way to not learn a lesson of a story is to insert yourself into the story. Life is a canvas that's played, and these stories play out in front of us. So if we want to get the real meat out of any story that's playing out in front of us, we can't put ourselves in what we would do in it. It didn't happen to you. It's not you. Everyone has everybody has a laundry list of experiences that we're not privy to that shapes their perception on the world that they're in. And just because someone doesn't act a certain way doesn't mean they weren't taught. Some people were taught exactly what to do, but there are some people out there who got to put their hand on the fire. That's just what I work with so many kids, and I've seen some kids with some really good upbringings that were told, do this, do that. But then when they get out there and they get into the world by themselves, they're going to fuck up, and they're going to fuck up 3 times. But those oftentimes are the people when they get to their 40s and 50s, those are usually the biggest healers, the best teachers, the best so-called gurus. They're usually the ones who had to touch fire to realize how hot it was when they were in their early 20s. And if we're going to get them on their path, there's a point that we got to get to as the adults of the society to remove the you should, because at the end of the day, we don't know. We're just assuming based on our perception, on the limited perception we have, based on the tiny moments and spaces that we have to experience these people from afar.
I love you so much, brother. I love you. But here's what I do.
Let me finish it.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So we don't have a heaven or a hell to put these people in. So first of all, we got to understand that no matter what we think, we're powerless to do anything.
Okay.
So our opinions are just wind, good or bad. Mine, yours, all of us. We don't have the power to do shit. So that's one thing. That's one level of it. Another level of it is when it comes to how much money he has and all that stuff. When you're dealing with poverty, sports is a poverty industry. A few with money make it through. The majority lived in poverty. Poverty is a mindset. When you throw money at somebody at a young age, they know who to throw money at. All right. I remember when I used to go out with these players. It's this restaurant in LA. I'm pretty sure you've been there, Jeff, in Studio City. It's called Firefly. It's on Ventura.
Yeah, Firefly, yeah.
Well, Firefly is where a couple, if the Pump brothers, the double pump, they always take players there. And I remember going to Firefly a lot. And Firefly, you've been there. It's a fufu sushi restaurant. Ain't nothing there good. It's not. It doesn't taste good, but it's
the place to be seen overpaying for food.
Yeah, it's $75 for a palm, a pinky full of nasty food. But I realized what was going on, and I don't blame these two people specifically. I was like, why this place? What happens is they want to sort of cast you, see what kind of person you are. And I'm not saying these two people in particular. I'm just talking about the industry and all, the basketball. They put you through these subjectability tests, and they take you to these places that are outside your culture to see how you react. And by the time you get to the NBA, they know what kind of Negro they got before they hand them all kinds of money. And they very rarely put the money in the hands of responsible people. Every now and again, you get players that's so goddamn good you have to. Outside of that, they don't really do that. So when we see this stuff play out from afar, especially through the NBA, you got to understand. They knew what kind of Negro they had 10 years ago, 10 years before we met them. But go ahead.
Okay, I did all of that. 100. I don't disagree with any of it. I just don't think any of it has to do with the following. Once a friend of mine, real quick, got shot at a party. I was 16. And my mama was like, I want you to be a lot more careful. We were at breakfast, my mother, my father, and me. And I said, Mama, that could have happened to anybody. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time. My father put the newspaper down, and without missing a beat, he looked me in the face and said, son, there is no right time to be in the wrong place. He's young, Memphis is dangerous. You're exactly right. He's young, and Memphis is dangerous. There are 200 other explanations for being safe in Memphis as a young millionaire than brandishing a firearm. B, it's a firearm. Somebody didn't explain to you, other than them other knucklehead idiots that you hang out with, trying to prove whatever it is you think you're trying to prove for whatever reason. You're right about all those reasons.
Hey Jeff,
I
gotta put a break to that. Somebody did explain to him. He just went through this 3 months ago. He didn't explain to him. At what point do you give him? Do you put the responsibility on him?
I put it on him right here. It's on him right now. I'm not taking the responsibility away from him at all. As a matter of fact, I'm giving him even more responsibility. I'm giving him even more.
My next question. He's responsible. He did what he did. He made the decision again. All right. So maybe what if that's just his decision?
Okay. So just screw it. Play ball.
What can we do with
nothing? Should happen.
I'm not saying. What can you do?
Oh, well, who am I? Am I the NBA? Am I the Memphis Police Department?
You in particular, you, Jeff Brown.
What can I do?
What can we?
I can look at this is what I do. I look at him. I look at my sons. I look at the dudes I mentor, and I say this to everybody under the sound of my voice, that the Creator often will give you an opportunity to be or not to be your own cautionary tale. That's what I do. I tell other kids, when you get an opportunity, don't get out here and embarrass us all looking like a monkey fucking a football. Because unlike white people, we are judged by our goobers.
I gotta give you pushback. To that because I agree. I agree with you. When you said the first part, when you said we got to use this as a lesson to teach it all, I 100% agree. But here's where I depart. Fuck what white people think. We have to get to the point because in life, you only responsible for what you accept. When we only have the burden of being responsible for what white people think when we accept it. When we say, you know what?
That's not
because
fair
no, it's very true. You know why? Because no matter how good, let me finish. No matter how good of a nigga we are, we still a nigga. So there is no appease. We time immemorial, Michonne.
Sure.
There is no appeasing these people. So at that point, you have a decision to make. Do you continue to worry about what they think? Or do you say, because I do agree in fixing Ja Morant's behavior, but I believe in fixing his behavior for the betterment of himself, independent of what they think. Because they're going to think whatever they think. Kawhi Leonard was humble. One day he said, look, the Spurs, Kawhi Leonard till this day cannot play more than 3 games in a row because the Spurs rushed him back and he came back and and he didn't say nothing to the media for years. And all they do is shit on him every day for having a hobbled knee over the reason why he left the Spurs.
Okay.
So no matter how you live your life as a black person, they gonna say whatever they say.
I really wish you were saying something that either enlightened me or that I disagreed with. Forgive me for bringing up white people. Forgive me. You're right. That's not the key point here. The key point here is the 8th grader that's dribbling a tennis ball in his weak hand, hoping to be where this dude is. He didn't set a man example. He's not setting a best foot forward example.
You damn right.
And he's made, like I said, he's made himself his own cautionary tale, and he's made an excellent cautionary tale for
Jeff,
me
you know
to tell others. But I can't invalidate my opinion. I'm allowed my opinion whether it's wind or not, and that's what it is. Is that as a black male, I am looking at the failing of black males when I look at him.
Hell no, you're not. I ain't taking on that shit. As much work as I put in it, I'm 42. I'll be 42 in a month. Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. I'm gonna let you finish. But it's the point I want to make. It's the point I want to make real quick before what you said. I'm gonna let you finish your point. Because I don't go past a we. Because I like this when it comes down to lessons. Lessons can be learned both positive and negative. And one thing we gotta forget as black folks is everything ain't gonna be hunky dory light. Some of the best lessons you can learn is from a negative person, and that's you need a positive and negative charge to power a battery. And as a kid, the reason why I don't have kids all around willy nilly. The reason why I got a wife, and when I got to my wife, and I don't have kids all around town, 2 people. When I was 10, when I was 10 or 11, Magic Johnson got AIDS. So that taught me right away. Magic Johnson in 92 was public enemy. When he went on Connie Chung's show and said that it was all these women, it was their fantasy, they rung him up high. He was the face of AIDS. So you know what they did with me? That negative made sure when I got to the age of having sex, I put on a fucking condom. That negative taught me something good. When I saw when I looked at Shawn Kemp, it was a story that dropped in '96 when Shawn Kemp went to the finals against the Bulls, talking about all the kids Shawn Kemp had and the fact that Shawn Kemp couldn't read. And I was playing basketball in high school. I said, you know what? That's gonna make me focus a little bit harder on school, and I ain't gonna be going around having all these kids. Cause look at Shawn Kemp, he losing his whole paycheck. I remember when Charles Barkley as a kid, they used to call me Charles Barkley. I played for the Rancho Cienega 76ers, number 34. I was the fat kid that could run fast. But Charles Barkley, we all love him now. Well, not we. Society loves him now. But I was there in 1989 when he spit on a fan member. And then a couple months later, it was a big story about Charles Barkley throwing somebody out of a window in a Philadelphia bar. I remember learning, you know what? If I ever get to that point, I saw how Charles Barkley was treated. I said, you know what? If I don't want to get treated like that, so guess what? Just the same way Magic inspired me to be a pass first point guard point forward when I hoop, was the same way he inspired me to put a condom on when something negative happened. That's why I'm saying is
I love you, but I don't understand. And I don't disagree with anything of the points you're making. I just don't understand why you're making them here. Well, maybe that's where we
because it's the same situation in 2023. A famous black person did some dumb shit, and black people that are famous as long as there's fame, as long as there's this thing called humanity, they're going to do dumb shit. No, we're not going to be a monolith of good people. So
maybe this is where we're missing. Maybe if I ask you this question, maybe this will clear it all up. Now that he's done all of this, what, in your opinion, which weighs nothing in the grand scheme of things, like we both agreed, what do you think should be what should happen next? How should black people deal with this? We've already
move on. I'm gonna answer that real quick. Move on. Nobody got hurt.
Okay.
Nobody got harmed. Nobody. He didn't hurt himself. He didn't harm himself.
Yeah.
Move next story. You know we got to deal with as people. We have all this poverty. We in Chicago. You got black residents suing the city because they bringing in illegal Latinos to black schools that were shut down. But now you got Latinos getting $7,000 a month in welfare out of our tax dollars. We got reparations here in California that Gavin Newsom is supposed to be voting on in July. We got some serious business to attend to. Fuck him and his gun.
That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing right now. It's dangerous, bro. And I tell you why.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, you know what's dangerous?
May I be allowed to finish?
What's dangerous is letting these kids think sports matter. Fuck these athletes. We got to point them to.
You are absolutely right. What I'm not. Here's what's dangerous. You have now, just on your own show, done away with all small fish. You don't get to talk about shit small no more.
Yeah,
we don't get to have no small conversations. This ain't a small conversation.
I'm having this conversation to point towards the big fit. I'm having this small conversation to point towards a larger goal. The larger goal, what's the larger goal? We got business to attend to in this country.
Sure.
And if we allow, I played the video before you called it. I played the video. It was literally a blink in the innocent moment. This is something 99.999999999% of humanity would have never heard of or seen had white media decided to say, okay, let's not talk about Brett Favre. Let's freeze this image that's on screen for a millisecond and blow it up. Had they not decided to do that, this shit would have gone right past our consciousness. We're going to allow these crackers to freeze frame a 0.1 second image and allow that to distract us from our serious business? Please.
No, I agree with that. But this is not as small a fish that's where we disagree. I don't think this fish is that small.
I think it's small because he didn't hurt no one. He didn't harm anyone. He didn't harm himself. And he didn't break any laws.
Okay, here's why it's not a small fish to me. It's because I'm a pistol expert. I'm a rifle expert. And I'm a father of sons this age. And if I thought that my son was anywhere brandishing, or any of the four of them were brandishing a weapon, really? After everything I've taught you, I'd whip your ass myself. You disrespect my name. Yeah, I'll say this, then I'm done. This is what I heard about Chris Webber. Chris Webber was in college. He was acting up, and the coach couldn't get an act right. So he called Mr. Webber. Chris looked up, and his daddy was standing there. And his daddy said, "What's your last name?" He said, "Webber." Mr. Webber said, "Wrong. That's my last name, because I got a family and you don't. You out here putting dirt on my name. And ain't no dirt on my name to this point. And from this point forward, don't put no more dirt on my name. This boy is out here like a damn fool with a gun putting dirt on his family's name. Is it a bigger deal as reparations? No. Is it as big a deal as us getting killed in the street? No. Is it as big a deal as the continual sending of poison to our communities? No. But it's a deal, bruh. It's a deal. And whether it was on for a nanosecond, what we talking about is a nanosecond of foolishness caught. It's foolishness caught. And there ain't no other way to color it. It ain't no, well, some kids don't. Fuck all that. That's dumb. And I cannot. These are the words I have for my children. I'm supposed to change them for other people.
And that's where I'm going to end this the way I started it.
Yes,
it
sir.
ain't you, bruh. Everybody's living out their cards. You never asked the question. Maybe the Morant last name is already dirty around town. That's not your life to live. Profound and profane is life. We all live we all are a range of the negative and positive, and we all are negative and positive aspects show up in different areas of your life. So in areas of your life that you clean, the next person is dirty than a motherfucker in. In areas that you very dirty in, somebody else is extremely squeaky clean in. So we can spend the rest of our lives going back and forth over the dirt and what this and what that and what I would do. At the end of the day, it's not you. It's not me. Everyone has their own way to play. And when you see these things happen afar, these things that you have no control over, positive or negative, these things that would not happen the same way as it happened with you because you don't have the same set of experiences as that person, the best you can do is what you said earlier. Say, hey, look at that fool over there, son. You see what happens when you pull out a gun. These negative things can come your way. Make sure that doesn't happen to you. Now let's get back to talking about
Let's get back to the real shit. All right, man. Again, I want to get back to the show because I dig it just like everybody else. I'm going to say this, I'm done. Ladies and gentlemen, what you just saw was two Jedis sparring. And at the end of it, we still love each other.
Love you, Uncle man. Jeff. That's my nigga right there.
Do your thing.
Yes,
nigga.
Sir.
All right.
Great. Hey, Larry called back. Larry called in earlier. Larry, call your hoe ass back, nigga. But that's what it comes down to, man. Look. We're making this big deal. That's why I had this call-in show today. I had this call-in show because at the end, I saw the amount of pushback that I was getting. I was like, hold on, I gotta let people talk this out long form. What's up, Larry? This you?
Yeah, that's me, man. What's up? Hey, much respect to everybody involved in this broadcast except for your whole ass.
Man, fuck you.
Yeah.
The fuck do you want, nigga?
Yeah. Man, I want you to fail, but that don't look like it's gonna happen. So, I just dog. I've been seeing a lot of lesser of two evil people get on social media and treat this situation like it's Donald Trump. Like, you know what's gonna happen, dog? He's gonna get suspended. And then he's gonna be right back in the NBA, jumping as high as he fucking can and dunking on niggas like he's been doing. He's gonna continue to get paid. And at some point, he's going to show some contrition, and everything's going to be good. But my only issue with Ja is that you don't pull out a gun unless you're going to use it. Yeah. That is my only issue. You don't pull out a gun unless you're going to use it. You don't pull it out to show off. You don't pull it out to scare nobody. You pull it out to use that motherfucker. And I really agree with what you said about not putting yourself in that position because a lot of people are saying, well, if that was me, well, nigga, it's not you. You're not 6'3". You don't have a 40-something inch vertical. You can barely fucking shoot on a Nerf hoop. Stop putting yourself in this situation. Your name ain't Ja Morant, it's Antoine, and you work in accounting. So stop involving. Stop involving. I mean, it's a soundbite, and you know how the news cycle goes. Something hits social media. Everybody offers their opinion. People argue about it, and then in 2 or 3 days, it's something else. Rinse, repeat. It's the same shit. But now I will say this, and I'm gonna get off the phone because I fucking hate you, nigga. Them first. Yeah, he made a mistake, but them first, nigga.
Yeah, them first.
What you think about Ja Morant? Well, I like Ja Morant. He's my favorite player. What you think about that white boy that choked that nigga out in New York? It's always gonna be them first with me.
Always, and that's the thing about it. Like, okay, yeah, all this is going on. Yeah, it was in bad taste, but why are we talking about this like now? Nothing that our kids can learn is you ain't got to respond to everything that white folks do in your face. He burned his gun. Okay, next story. We can teach our children maturity and the ability to sift through information. How about that?
Yep. And that young man is old. He's young enough to be my son. And I don't mean the son that I had while fucking somebody in high school. I'm talking about this nigga is 23. I'm 49. If I had a child at 26, he could be my son.
Yeah.
And I would tell him like anybody should tell their son, I mean, don't be out there fucking up, man. What Uncle Jeff said about my name, I totally agree with that. But this situation is only a big deal because it just happened and he did it twice. Guess what's going to happen in 2024? Ja Morant is still going to be the starting point guard of the Memphis Grizzlies. He's going to be dunking on niggas. He's going to be doing the gritty. He's going to be telling other point guards they too little after getting an and one. So why is this even a big-ass issue? And I'm out, dog. Fuck you. And y'all come to our show next week in Dallas. Fuck
yeah, next Friday in Dallas, Larry Ho ass going to be on stage. Come on out, Dallas, May 26th. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Brother Dwann, Herc, man. What's happening, bro?
What's up, Herc, man? What's going on, brother?
All right, brother. Yeah, man. Hey, human beings need a little wiggle room to fuck up, okay?
Yeah.
We're all capable of human error, and we're all capable of being the best people that we can be, you know? And so we need that wiggle room. I think, the previous caller was taking it a little too personal because he was looking at it from a glass of that being his son, you know. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, born and raised. And right now it's a real, Memphis is having a bad time with violence right now, you know. And, you know, the police and with the corruption of the police force and things like that, it's a lot going on. And that young man the basketball player might be facing some challenges where he's being, you know, tested, you know, by his peers down there. And, you know, he might have to carry a little something to back some people up off of him, you know?
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, you know what? He may have security, you know what I mean? We don't know. But when people are, look, I want to make it clear to people, and thanks for calling. Thanks for calling for that, Kurt. But
right,
it's a thing that as people we got to understand that. Look, is it dumb? Yes. This saying someone isn't fully developed isn't making an excuse for them. It's telling you to have compassion, because all compassion means is the ability to understand beyond your understanding. That's all that means. We ain't gonna know the answers. One thing we gotta know is people, you ain't gonna always, most shit we ain't gonna know why. Most shit that happens around us, we can't make sense of it. It just happens. And the only people it needs to make sense to are the people that are involved in it. As a matter of fact, yeah, it's gonna halfway make it. How many times it's gonna halfway not make sense to the people involved. So sitting here from your cozy corner, judging what's going on from afar, and that there's no answer to that, right or wrong. We'll like, nigga, we'll never know. Like for real, we just won't. So you just take it for what it is, because when you put yourself in it, That's one way to guarantee not get to the understanding. You'll never understand situations when you throw yourself in the situation. You don't belong in the situation. You sit back and you observe it, then you be like, maybe this is the better way to go. It's cool to say, hey man, I wouldn't have done it that way. That's cool. But when you make this big ass issue something that we would have never seen, have some white outlet not decide to freeze frame some shit. Yeah, we gotta be a little more mature than that, from my opinion.
There you go. I agree. That was well said. We can't say basically Monday morning quarterback, somebody else's life, because life plays out in its own way and it unfolds as we see it, through our own experiences, and we have to be a little bit more, say, enlightened than that, and basically just accept, some things that we can't really take so personal. We have to kind of let it play itself out.
That's right, brother.
There you go. Okay, brother.
But thanks for giving us a call, man.
All right, appreciate it. Bye.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man, we don't. Amir, you must not be drunk today, because Amir said something that made sense, that wasn't crazy. The creator has a master plan. That's true. That's very true. The creator has a master plan. Somebody said, I have been, why the fuck you bringing up Tariq? Tariq don't talk like me. I don't talk like him, Breezy. Your mama's been indoctrinated by pimps, nigga. Is that why you bringing up Tariq? She been indoctrinated to sell that thing and give it back that thing to them? And now you? These niggas be talking about. What's up, Carter? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, hey, Dwann, Amara.
What's up, Amara? What's on your mind, brother?
All I gotta say is, I'm with you 100%, and I ain't trying to suck up or nothing. This is really not a big deal. And then on top of that, he didn't openly carry state.
Right.
And I get, but let me tell you, as a Clipper fan, Chris Kaman, one of my favorite centers of all time, used to carry a gun, and he was in his 20s.
Yeah.
Same age.
Yeah.
And Steve Novak, I think, and a couple other guys.
Yeah.
But back to the main point. I mean, we definitely do got important things to worry about than this, man. I'm not paying attention to this. I mean, John should be a little smarter, I guess, because he is a role model and stuff. But I mean, this is nothing to. This is as black people, we got more important things to worry about than this, man. I'm with you on that. But yeah, I'm gonna go now.
You right about that, man.
Good luck.
I appreciate that, brother.
Good luck to you.
Call. Yes, sir.
Good luck to you on your show.
Yes, sir.
And you gonna kill it, Dwann.
Yes, sir, man. You have a good one. What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Dwann B? This B Rad from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincy, the home of funk. What's going on, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. First, I want to shout you out, man. Keep doing your thing, my brother, and you keep doing your thing, man. I appreciate everything you do, man.
Man, I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate the love.
Okay, and I disagree with you, big dog, on this, man. You know, he's an NBA player. He's under a different type of circumstances, man. You know he can't be flashing no gun online, Dwann. You could have your Second Amendment rights, yes, but do that in the privacy of your own home. There's no need for this man to be online flashing a gun, big bro.
This is where I come to that. It's no need, but it's still his choice. Why are we making a big deal out of it? That's the choice. That's what he chose.
But that's the question I got to ask you. Do you think he's trying to get off Memphis by doing this? Because if Memphis dropped him, do you think he'll still be eligible to be in the NBA and still get picked up by another team?
No, I don't think he's thinking that far. I just think that he's out. He's probably had a little liquor in the system. He's having a good time, and he flashed a gun. I really don't think he's thinking it out like that. If he were thinking it out like that, he probably wouldn't have done it.
So being Ja Morant, coming from where he come from, the upbringing he has, Why do you think he's so infatuated with flashing guns online when he doesn't have to?
That's the thing. We don't know what kind of upbringing he had. We only know what they tell us. And let me tell you something from years and years and years and years of working with kids. I mean, years. Let me tell you something. I got into reading cards because the hardest part about working with families and working with kids is dealing with people's bullshit ass illusions. People don't tell the truth about themselves, and what you see happening in front of you, in front of the world, ain't what's really going on behind closed doors. Usually it's the parents that are all on Instagram talking about how much they love their kids, be the shittiest parents. All my years when I used to coach basketball, you don't understand how many of them fathers I had to deal with who didn't really fuck with their kids until they realized their kid had a talent in basketball. And then they start living their life vicariously through their kids. And most of those basketball parents are run by their kids. Because by the time they get to be about 14, 15 years old, the kid is bringing in more money than the parents because of all these Nike schools. And nowadays, it's open with the whole NAIA deals. Nowadays, high school players can get paid above table. But back then, they was always getting paid below table. And so the kid becomes a breadwinner by the time they're 15, 16 years old. And we don't know what kind of upbringing they had. So with all that being said, I do know this. I know how society works. Society promotes guns. I know that the first time Ja Morant saw a gun was probably on a Bugs Bunny cartoon. See, we don't ever think about that. Between the ages of 0 and 7, before you get into rap music, before you get into these movies, you watching cartoons. And we'll do the cartoon show, guns. America's a gun culture. If you grew up in America, you're going to grow up salivating over guns, especially if you're in a household where parents don't talk to their children. All my years working with kids, all I had to deal with was parents talking at their children, not to their children. And you know this to be true. But most of these parents, they don't talk to the kids about anything going on in their life. The only time they talking to their kids is, well, did you do your homework? Did you take out the trash? What are your grades? Parents don't talk to their kids. They talk at their kids. So these kids are raised by the game. These kids are raised by what they see on TV. This is a picture I put up on the screen here. These are some kids. I was in 1995 in the middle. This is my doctor, Dr. Robinson. And when in 1995, he started a program in Watts at King Drew Medical Center working with children. This kid to the left, Paul, he was 6 when I first started working with him. Prince was 7, was 8. She was like 9. These are my babies. They are in their 30s now and 20s. This is how long I've been doing this shit, working with families. And we had a reunion last Saturday. These are my babies, but they in their 30s now. So this is the level of experience I'm coming from when I have these conversations. We never know what's going on in these families' households. These motherfuckers be lying like a motherfucker to us, to me, you, all of us. People putting on fronts. Most of these parents are fronting. So we don't know how this nigga was raised. But we do know the first cartoon he saw probably had a gun in it. We know that. Because we all watch the same cartoons and TV shows. What do they have? Guns. Society. Every time you turn on the TV, the westerns you watch. Forget the hood movies. I'm talking about, he probably grew up watching John Wick. We think about that?
Yeah.
He grew up John Wick was the big one. George Zimmerman 23, something on the first, the Equalizer. These major motion Hollywood. What about them? Why they get to be scapegoated?
Right.
This is a societal issue. America has 20 guns to every one person? It's over 1 billion guns in this country. And we gonna make this a story? What? That's the point of view I'm coming from, brother, to make it clear. But I respect your point of view.
Yeah,
I still respect you.
I appreciate you letting me call in, man. Keep doing your thing, Big Run. Thanks for letting me. I'm thinking about it differently now. You make me think about it a little bit differently now that you broke it down to me.
Yes, sir, man. You have a good one, brother.
You too, Brick, bro. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. And see, that's the way I look at it. We don't ever talk about the TV shows. It's always right to the music. And I'm not mad at black people for thinking this way because we've been conditioned to think this way. I'm just here to see if I do my best to break the conditioning. Because I had to break the conditioning in my own mind. The reason why the name of all my companies is Breakthrough. Breakthrough is the name of all of my companies because I had to break through myself. Breakthrough's Advocacy Services. That's where I turn around and I help family with family coaching, workplace dynamics. That's what I was doing before I opened up Breakthrough Cards. Now using the cards to break down the communication side of the game. You know what I mean? This is my life's work. And I've drawn my opinions over 3 decades now of working with people and being on the front line in family homes, helping people work through their shit. Let me tell you something. When you help people work through their shit, you realize how screwed up your own perceptions of things are. So you gotta, one thing I found out working with people is, nigga, I got so much bullshit going on in my own head. Man, let me break through my own bullshit. And so I'm not over here talking like some fucking guru like I know it all. I'm talking like a nigga that had to evolve to this point of view. I didn't think like this 10 years ago. I've always had like a counter revolutionary kind of mindset, but I had to evolve. I had to get taught lessons through negativity. Negativity is a lesson too. When you go into a family thing, and I've been doing this for so long and I know it all, and then you come across a family in a situation that questions everything that you think, you realize that you don't know shit. What's up, Ebony? What's up, T Jeezy? See, that's what it is. We all get, we repeat these cliches. Cliches sound good. We repeat a lot of shit that sound good, but does it really work? That's the point of view I come from. We repeat these cliches, we repeat these sayings, but does it really work? Let's talk more about it on the back end. Hit the like button and please hit share. Hit the like button and share button, please. Come on out for the Dwann B Live interactive comedy show and mixer with your headliner, Slink Johnson, Mike Murphy, Kamira White, and Larry Goodwell.
What's up, Dallas? This is your main man, Slink Johnson, with a public service announcement. Check me out live at the Urban Arts Center, May 26th, with my man, Dwann Brown. We smoking yours, baby. Tap in, D-Town.
Yeah. Come on out. Come on out. I heard somebody in the chat room say earlier, I saw them, they're like, you a Z-list comedian. No, I'm a Z-minus list comedian. Cause nigga, I'm not a comedian. I'm Dwann motherfucking Brown, nigga. Multi-talented. Comedy is one side of my game. Music is another side of my game. Talking shit is another side of my game, nigga. So if you think you saying some bullshit like that is going to affect me, I'm going to agree with you. You ain't never gonna see me as no A-list comedian. I don't want to play that game. But I am the nigga you need to come out because I'm on the Z-minus list because the people that come to my shows are the people who fuck with me, who know they gonna laugh their ass off. And I ain't gonna give you the same show the rest of these comedians give you. I got my own thing. Thing. What's up, Nuff Said in the chat room? You better be strapped. My nigga Nuff Said in the comedian in the chat room. That's my nigga right there. What up, brother? So yeah. We can't sit around and just get mad when they talk. Fuck them. It doesn't matter what they think. It only matters what we think. And we got to get to the point to where we're mature enough to love ourselves even when we fuck up. And save the discipline for when something happens. God damn. Flash the gun that you wouldn't have seen had they not paused it. So the fuck what? Now, if he flashes a gun and he shoots somebody, then yeah, let's make sure he gets thrown under the jail. If it harms someone or him or causes harm to be done, yes, at that point, let's deal with him. Young dude does something dumb. File that in the old the fuck well category and get back to business. God damn. Fuck what they think. You know, man, why do we care about what? Why do we allow the people, the same group of people, the same few handful of media people blowing this story up, are the same group of people who never said anything about punishment for Brett Favre? Even when Barstool Sports and these white publications brought up Brett Favre, they didn't mention punishment. But I got niggas in the chat room saying, Ja Morant should be suspended for a year. You dumb niggas go right to punishment. Show me where ESPN wrote an article demanding punishment to Brett Favre. Now they may say Brett Favre faces a possible such and such amount of time for such and such crime, but they for damn sure ain't gonna beat the drum calling for it to be done. God damn you niggas. Yes, Gregory, he is an underdeveloped child, but most of our kids are underdeveloped. Why? Because most black people, most people in general, let society raise their kids. Y'all don't talk to y'all fucking kids. And that's just the truth. People don't talk to their kids. They talk at their kids or don't talk at all to their kids. That's a conversation me and my sister were having yesterday on Mother's Day. Because my sister's a teacher. And she was just talking about how, like, she has so many kids who just talk about how, like, their parents just don't talk to them at all. And all my years working with kids, that seems about true. What's Ja Morant's birthday? Oh shit, his birthday is August 10th, 1999. Ha! This nigga was born right after high school. Right when I got out of high school. That's crazy. It'd be crazy seeing grown-ass people that was born. I graduated high school in 1999. Shit! And his birthday is August 10th, 1999. Let me see what card he is. Oh, shit. Oh, man, look. Man, I see why Ja Morant is the way he is. Okay, this makes sense. This makes complete sense as to why he is the way he is. He's a 3 of diamonds. Man. This is Ja Morant's card spread right here. 3 of diamonds. 3 of diamonds are always, they not want to say always, but most 3 of diamonds got wild. They wild until they turn about 25. Between 23 and 26 is when 3 of diamonds people slow down. This 7 hearts and Venus, this means they can't control their emotions. Ace of spades and Mercury, that means they only think about themselves. And they have a hard time ingesting wisdom. 3 of diamonds people don't really balance out till they get to that Mars card. That's when all their values start to settle in. But usually 3 of diamonds, I got 3 of diamonds family members. If your birthday is August 10th, nigga, ha 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 ha. It's crazy. Like, what's up, caller? Here's look at if you're a Three of Diamonds person, you probably had a very interesting childhood where your ass didn't listen. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Dwann B, what's up, brother?
What's up,
calling
brother? What's on your
from
mind?
Georgia, man.
What's your name?
Rodney, calling from Georgia.
Rodney from Georgia. What's on your mind, brother?
What's up, brother? Hey, man, yeah, man, I've been following you for a long time, man. Listen to you since you had 2 followers, man. Listen, man.
Yes, sir.
But I gotta disagree with you, brother. I work with kids here. Been coaching for 30 years. We can't keep making excuses for these guys, man. I heard you earlier tell a caller you told the caller that Buzz Bunny and all those had guns, but that was fantasy. Ja Morant is living in real life.
Let me tell you something real quick. There's 2 things I said. I said, first thing I said was, I'm not making an excuse. I'm telling you to have understanding. Not making an excuse. Because here's the reason why I say I'm not making an excuse. I don't have the power to give an excuse. None of us do. That's not even within my power to give an excuse.
Right.
This is saying this is a perspective. And another thing, a child, a 3-year-old, doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality. That's why they feed these. Look, you don't think the people that are in control of the images know this? I always encourage people. One of my things I like to encourage people to do. I used to say go to a community college and take a propaganda class, but you don't got to do that no more because it's all on Facebook now. Just take a propaganda class and understand what imagery does to a mind in general, but especially to a mind between the ages of 0 and 8. It's not till 8 years old that you have the ability to filter out good and bad. I mean, when you have the ability to filter out something that is either works for you or don't. The age of 0 to 7 is when the brain is called theta state. So during that time, it ingests everything. And during that time is when you learn your perceptions, and your perceptions on how you're going to live your life for the rest of your life are locked in by the time you turn 8. So these are things that aren't even within the ability to control a 3-year-old when they're watching Bugs Bunny carry carry guns. Imagery of guns is far more dangerous from the age of 0 to 7 than it is listening to a 16-year-old listening to a rap song. And this is something that the scientists all know and understand, but it's a part of the conversation that when we have these talks, we never bring up. That's why I'm bringing it up. And it's not an excuse. It's just an understanding of, hey, this is how the brain works. And none of us have a choice in that. Me, you, none of us.
So you saying at the age of 24, at the age of 24, he don't have a choice.
No. I didn't say they have a choice. I said scientifically, the frontal lobe, the frontal cortex, was the part of your brain that's in your forehead. That's the reasoning center. You have 3 sections of your brain. You have the fight or flight response, and your reptilian center. That's the back of your brain. And usually when you're based in trauma, your decisions are made out of fight or flight. The part of your brain, the frontal cortex, although it is functioning and it comes online after the age of 8, it's not fully functioning and developed until the age of 23, 24. But what I'm saying is, again, it's not an excuse. What I'm saying is not an excuse. It for those of us who are in our 30s, 40s, and 50s, that understands that our brains flat out don't function the same way a 23-year-old brain functions. That's just science. That's like if I'm driving down a freeway and there's a freeway I don't know if you've ever seen a freeway get built or a new freeway interchange get built. But I'm here in LA.
Right, yeah.
And I remember when they built the 105 freeway and that big old interchange between the 105 and the 110. And you see it on that movie Speed with Keanu Reeves. There's a scene where the bus has to jump the bridge. What I'm saying is this. Think about that scene. When certain brains, when the younger brain, the way it processes, there are neural connectors within that brain that those connections don't quite connect yet. They connect for me and you, but they don't quite connect for them in all areas. So in some areas, that particular person may seem like a genius. Everything is going for them. Everything functions properly. But as much as they are as a genius, as a savant in this area, as he is in basketball, they're extremely lacking in other areas. And that's also a price to pay, that when you're really, 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 really good at something. That's a price to being really, really good at something. So the rest of us who
Yeah.
are more balanced and not that great at any one thing, but good at more things, we're not going to understand how that person works. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with that. That we're not gonna understand. But he just got caught with that a week ago. A little over 2 weeks ago. The same incident, which he came and apologized. He acknowledged the fact that he had a weapon. He was influencing kids and people that look up to him. But guys,
it's unfortunate. I don't wish the situation on him. Me personally, I do something different. But it's something that he gonna have to deal with. This is part of his development, and we can use it as a lesson to the kids around us. Hey, look at Ja Morant over there. He made a bad decision. It's costing him money. Make sure you think twice. Now let's get back to talking about what we need to talk about.
I like it. I like that. D.
You did?
I like that, brother. Yes, sir. I like it.
All right, man. You have a good one, brother.
You too, but stay up. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Like,
see, that's what it's about. Me and you, we don't have a heaven or hell to put this man in. I understand that I won't understand how his brain works. I'm not a savant in any one area like he is. There's no area of my life that I'm as good at as Ja Morant is in basketball. And the way he was, I know, is and the athlete brain, I know how they cultivate them. The brains that they do have, these prep schools make sure not to cultivate the minds of these athletes. You think they send these black kids to prep school to get educated? Man, the whole point of prep school is for that basketball program to bring in money to the school. They ain't educating these niggas. They using these niggas to build a pretty gym and a dope library. They're not giving these kids, these young men, the tools to free themselves and know what to do with their money and make proper decisions. They don't want that. And we also got to know the society that we live in. We got to look at ourselves as a people. That's right, Biz Martin. Now back to what about all this white on white crime? Thank you. Yo, we could easily say, hey, man, that nigga fucked up. But what about Brett Favre, though? We ain't got to make a big story out of every story white people make a big story about people. Got to be a little bit more mature than that. And also, email me. I have memberships to my reading services. A lot of y'all, and I appreciate y'all for booking with me. But I got member services now. All my stuff that I do. Look at this. All my services, we got my regular readings. If you're new, get a regular reading. But if you've already had a reading from me, I got the memberships to where it's a lot cheaper for members. You can do it a half hour a month, a quarterly, but this is only for members. Big, huge discounts. $90 off the hour reading, $75 off the half hour if you are a member. But that's only available for people who've had past readings. That's exclusive to people who've had past readings. If you're new, book a reading and see how you like it. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I don't want you to book a membership and not like it. I want you to know what you're getting yourself into. I want you to see the value in it before you become a member. I ain't trying to take nobody's money. I only want people who see a value in what I do. I only want people who see a value in what I do to be members. And they see, and not so much a value in what I do, you see a value in it for yourself. If it's giving you something that you can get something out of it, if it's a value, that's why I offer the membership. for those who see a value for themselves. He said, as long as Stephen A. and Shannon's on TV, we'll keep having these convos. Not necessarily. We could block them niggas out. I blocked them out. I blocked Stephen A. Smith out about 10 years ago, and I never got it. I never gave Shannon my time. Fuck Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp. They're paid to keep this confusion going on. I blocked Stephen A. Smith out about 2011, 12, and I never got into Shannon. Because when Shannon came, I saw that he was just another version of Stephen A. Smith, just on a different network. And when Shannon, remember when Shannon first came in 2016? They was letting him talk all black, blickety black. Trump was in office, especially when Trump got in office. Oh my God. They was, nigga, Shannon Sharp was sounding like Huey Pete nigga. And I was like, Larry will tell you in the chat room. I was like, Larry, he just reeling you in. I know this is the Fox formula. Fox say, let's get black, blickety black. They'll be black for a year. And then the minute they got enough market share off you niggas, they're going to flip the script. And that's exactly what happened. So we ain't got to acknowledge them. We ain't got to acknowledge them or what they put up. They only have the power we give them. All we have to do is ignore them. That's real talk, real James. We can't make ourselves responsible for the BS people do. People gonna BS. That's just what it is. People are going to BS. It's okay. Learn from it. There's nothing you can do about it. Just learn. Use their BS and their negative moment to teach a lesson, a positive lesson to the next person. You're right, Ski, ready to switch like a house party. Switch. Big Time Sports says I'm wrong. Okay, call in, Big Time Sports. I don't want to hear what you got to say in the chat room. 323-744-7425. I was just about to log off, but Big Time Sports says I'm wrong on Ja Morant. 323-744-7425. Call in and tell me why. I just closed the phone lines down. They back open, Big Time Sports. Call in. And they was talking about Kyrie a lot during the pandemic. They ain't talking about nothing now. Nope. And earlier on, people in the chat was bringing up Luka Doncic. Yeah, Luka's a thug. He didn't get along with Porzingis over inter-European intercultural differences. Domestic violence, I ain't talking about that. I ain't talking about him. But to the person, I was just about to get off the line, but somebody said I was wrong. So if I was wrong, call in. 323-744-7425, or may you forever hold your peace. Because people like saying you wrong, but I'm like, all right, cool. I don't mind being called wrong. That's fine with me. I just want to hear from, okay, what am I wrong about? And what's your perspective? You dig? I'll leave it on. I'll leave the phone line open for one more minute. Call in. Call in. Somebody wants a birthday reading. Hey, for the people who are on my Patreon, the masterclass level, everyone who's on my Patreon masterclass level, if you're already part of my Patreon masterclass level, You get half off of readings for people on the masterclass level of Patreon. Okay, yeah, they didn't call in. What's up, Tasha? Oh, shit, Tasha, you called me. I got to call you back. Hey, 810 Leo gang. Yeah, 810. 3 of diamonds. Your birthday's 810. You are a 3 of diamonds. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where are you calling from? You there, caller? Oh, they hung up. Yeah, 3 of diamonds. This is Ja Morant card spread. Yeah, this right here, 3 of diamonds people, they go through it. Them teen years, early 20s, they have issues. The 7 hearts is all about control and boundaries. Venus is how you live your lifestyle. So that means they cross boundaries. These people who are 3 of diamonds people, they are habitual line steppers. He'll learn. Mid-20s, he'll learn. And by the time he gets to his early 30s, he's going to be like, what the fuck was I doing back then? Because it's 7 of diamonds and Mars is financial loss. So that means he's going to have to pay for it financially in some ways. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Long Island, New York, man.
Long Island, New York. What's your name?
My name is Yuels, man. Nice to meet you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what's on your mind?
I just feel like as black people, we got to stop publicly crucifying each other, man. Like that's their job. That's what they've been doing for years to us. My grandmother always told me, God bless her soul, we should never do that. Even when you deal with your kids, you deal with them separately, away from the public's eye, away from entertainment purposes and stuff like that. I'm trying to keep it clean as possible.
Yeah, I agree with you. And that's the whole point of this particular show that we're doing right now. It said like...
Yeah, because I found you by typing in, why is everyone on Ja Morant? And you popped up, so I'm definitely going to subscribe. Because I'm trying to see... I always look for the difference and stuff. Like, even when everybody was getting on Kanye and stuff, I wasn't raised like that. I wasn't raised to write that man off as crazy or that he's a bad person. Obviously, he loves his kids. Obviously, he loves his mother. God knows his heart.
That's right. And we don't have a heaven and hell to put him in. And just because I don't agree with you, I'm not going to help them people ridicule you. I'm just not going to do that. It's other ways.
Yeah, I'm not jumping on the bandwagon. Because you can get the same views and more by being a difference, by playing your part,
Yeah,
being a difference in something.
I appreciate that, man. But thanks for calling in. Thanks for subscribing.
No problem, Dwann.
You have a good one. Yeah, man. I'm about to end this, but I appreciate y'all for listening. I got some shit to do, but that's all it is. I'm not making an excuse for Ja Morant. I'm not. I don't have the power to make an excuse for him. And none of us do. And that's the point I want to make clear. None of us have the power. So what's all this? What are you doing? What are you doing? He was wrong, okay? All this extra shit you doing, all this performative action you doing, what are you doing? All the stuff that we got to worry about going on Earth, what are you doing? Acknowledge it. Learn the lesson from the negative behavior, because negative is a teacher too. Is sometimes a better teacher than a positive. The same way Magic taught me to put on a condom because he got AIDS. His negative experience made sure I didn't have kids running around this fucking planet all willy-nilly. Because I didn't want to end up like Magic and Eazy-E. Eazy-E died of AIDS, allegedly. And Magic had AIDS. Or HIV or whatever. And that happened at a very critical time in my life. And those negative experiences, the people I look up to, taught me a valuable lesson. And that's because I had a father that was there to help me explain that lesson. Explain the lesson to me. So be that person that can explain the lesson to the next generation. Be that person. Oh, we got somebody in the chat room. who wants attention. Go get attention from your girlfriend. Oops, my bad. You caught your girlfriend sucking your pastor's dick. You thought your girl was going to church, huh, B. Taylor? Huh? You thought she was going to church. She was getting on her knees all right. And it wasn't one of them young pastors either. It was one of them old wrinkle dick pastors too. With gray balls. That's who your girlfriend was fucking with. That's why you up in my chat room mad. You dig? My name is Dwann B. Thank y'all for listening. Go to my website, dwannb.com, for all the good shit. And y'all have a good one. I'm out.